apparently it has decided to go ahead and work.
Really?
Yeah.
So can I get...
So you should be able to go back to YouTube and click on...
Let me see. I don't want that. That's not what I want.
So just go back to YouTube and click on...
No. It shows that you're live. There you are.
Alright. So, I don't know what the heck is going on with Streamlab. I'm not even going to let it stress me. This is why I don't like technology. So, you know, I don't like technology because technology obviously does not like me. But, while we wait for this, and so Mom can go ahead and get her...
Aw, thank you, Raw.
Thank you, Raw Side. She is beautiful. I mean, really, I'm going to flip the camera again because y'all got to see her. She has got the loveliest smile.
I know.
And you know what? I'll give y'all a shot at what she does. I'll tell you what Mom does and why she's going to be going live.
I even show him the camera. I mean,
So,
my bid board.
This is her bid board. This lady does doll auctions on Facebook. If you are interested in old dolls that have been fixed up and fixed and made to work again, if you have old dolls that might need a little work, these are some of the things she's already sold. And she comes across some of the cutest stuff.
Oh, yes.
I don't know how she does it. I mean, look, even little high chairs and doll furnitures. So, I mean, but this is what she does. She does hers on Facebook. So when you guys hear me talk about having packed up and been used as a mule,
those are ready to go.
These are boxes that are ready to go. And she does do international.
I do.
Who all do you have?
Okay.
That's
so,
like, what countries have you been to so far?
So far, I've been to United Kingdom. I have been to shipping to, not actually that I've traveled to. I've got, I have Australia. I have Canada. I have United Kingdom. Well, I had Spain and Great Britain. So 5 different countries for me.
Yeah, so...
including all the United States.
So...
all over the United States.
Aw, just Cheza. Yes, she is a beautiful mama.
Oh, you guys, thank you.
So that's what she does. Where I cook, she does that. Which I help her do that too. I do a lot of cleanup and stuff for her.
Oh, gosh.
I don't mind.
Don't tell her, but she's awesome. Oh my gosh. Awesome.
I don't know if they can actually hear you.
I don't know if they can or not, but she's awesome.
So every now and then I gotta back up out of chat because even with StreamYard, sometimes I have to go out and then back in so my chat will catch up. I definitely get what you guys were talking about when you would talk about your chat skipping. Yeah, so now, so I don't get a whooping, we're going to clean this up real quick. So I told you guys before that the crust could be frozen. It very much can. The trick with the crust is you want to put it in a freezer bag, and then after you get it in the bag, before you close it up, just flatten it out some. That way. And then you're going to put it in the refrigerator. Don't just stick it straight in the freezer, because it'll take a little while for it to actually start freezing, and then you'll get big ice crystals. And the way to think about that is the difference between poking a grape with a needle and stabbing it with a knife. Big ice crystals tend to tear things up.
Maybe I can actually see.
Your smaller ice crystals don't. It also will stay good in the refrigerator for about a week. So if you plan on, if you just make a pie because you're being nice to somebody, like Pomp, maybe, which is, the guy that requested the whole pie thing. He's the one that started the whole journey.
Awesome.
So, Mom, you get to enjoy apple pie tonight because Pomp asked for an apple pie.
Well, actually, your stepdad in there, Paul, and gets to enjoy apple pie tonight as well because that's one of his favorite pies.
Right, so.
As well as mine.
Let's get this stuff cleared out of the way. But yeah, you can freeze your pie crust, or it'll stay good in the refrigerator for a couple of weeks. Well, at least a week. I'm not going to say 2 weeks because, quite frankly, pie crust has never lasted at my house for 2 weeks. So I'm not thinking, hey.
Yeah, we're not going there.
Yeah.
It ain't going to last that long around here neither.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Maybe I had it set to children and all of my... Okay, yeah. All right, learning curve, guys. Sometimes my brain doesn't take it all in at once. Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome, babe. Oh, there is a method to my madness here.
I'm not going to interrupt you too much, but whenever...
Because I have a live fixing to come up myself.
Yeah,
so.
Whenever you get done live, I will put all this stuff in the dishwasher.
Oh, just go ahead. You can work in the background just like I do. It's fine.
So anyway, guys...
Because I will show everybody what you've been up to while you're making noise in the background.
The pie is in the oven.
Yes, it is.
And let's see, at 420, we're going to check on it and turn it down to 350.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing about pie. Pie, when you start it out, you always want to start it out at a higher temp to get that cooking going real good.
Right.
But you want to finish it on a lower temp because you don't want to dry your pie out. And you don't want to burn your pie crust.
Right.
Even people that like
crispy.
Even people that like crispy crust don't like burnt crust. So, you might want to check your chat, Ma.
Yeah.
Karen just asked how you were doing.
Karen from where?
Rice. They may have been expecting you to go live earlier. So,
yeah.
She's asking where you're at.
Okay. Is she on here?
She just messaged me. I'm friends with her on Messenger. She was one of the few ladies that you have that I went ahead and did friends with.
Okay.
That way, if she wanted one customized or something like that.
Okay.
So, guys, we're going to go back in the back for a minute and let Mom do what she needs to do to get her live going. So, we'll go back and chat for a little bit. We got a little while before the pie is done. So, I will take you back here in the workroom. So, this is Mom's workroom. This is where all the conflab and plans and plots get made. Oh, and yes, I do have a stand this time, so hang on a minute. All right. Cheza, Alyssa, The Real Shrimp, Andrew, Ross Side, hello everybody. Glad to see that we can actually get some, oh, Cheza, I don't eat the fruit pie either, but oh yes, most of the time they smell so good. Forgive me guys, my hair is wet, so while I've got a chance, I'm going to take this stuff down because it tends to give me a migraine sometimes. Especially when it's wet and it's heavy, so forgive the wildness here. Oh yeah, you better feed the critters.
My gray folder.
Oh, so on the back side of the counter, sitting on top of your big bubble wrap.
Okay.
I set it right there, along with your other stand. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So now we just wait for a few minutes. If anybody has any questions. The last one I'd seen, yes. So, is chat still working, guys? Because the last one I see is just Cheza. So, am I still going on chat, or has it stalled on me? Whoops. Okay, well, I see Mom said hi. Okay. Well, the only reason I asked, Andrew, is because I did notice when I did my live last time that every now and then I got to back up out of chat because it's... I don't know if the internet service out here is just not that great. It's good enough, obviously, to do this, but like I said, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't lagging too bad. Okay. Well, I'm not sure how two of me is gonna go real well, but hey, one of me has managed not to screw it up too bad, I don't think. I think what I'll do next time, guys, because Streamlabs seems to have taken about half an hour to go ahead and kick on for me to be able to do this, you may see my live go up early, but just remember that Streamlabs was doing this, so if I'm up and it's not actually going on, it's just me trying to get everything together. Oh, I love working with her. She is absolutely fabulous. I do plan on doing a homemade pizza at one point, and that will probably have my daughter in it. Raw side, I understand. I really do. You gotta keep the hubby fed. Yeah, if he's anything like my man, they get a little hangry when they're hungry. So, well, it's definitely from my mom. One of these days, I might get the chance to get my grandma on here, and you'll see where my daughter got her looks at. I think it skips a generation. Like, I look a lot like my mom, and my daughter looks a lot like my grandma. Like, it's crazy. But then if you stand all four of us together, not only do we look a lot alike, but it goes in stair steps. Like, my grandma, then my daughter, then my mom, then me, as far as height goes. So it can be pretty funny photo op there. And Pump better be in, because this whole pie deal was his idea. So if he's not in, somebody gives him a plank. If y'all don't mind. Because I can't do anything like that yet. Oh. Okay, so. Let's see. Yeah, I gotta keep an eye on the time. Again, thank you, Fantastic. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Because, he's been my pie, and I told him, I said, well, get your pie. He wanted me to do it yesterday. I was like, no, I don't think so. Actually, Cheza, yeah. Cheesecake will be one of the desserts that I do. It's another one that I think people have gotten the idea that it's difficult to make. It's not actually difficult to make. You just have to follow the proper steps. No food is extremely difficult to make. But, again, you just have to follow the proper steps. But, yeah, cheesecake would be one. Oh, is that Jesse's?
It's still wrapping.
Alright, cool. Well, I'm not even going to unwrap that. I'm just going to let him unwrap it. Make it like a Christmas present. So he had an old watch. And had to get it fixed. Hello, Lisa. How are you? Yeah, I love I love cheesecake too. It's honestly, yeah. If I had access to cheesecake all the time, I'd probably turn into a cheesecake. I mean, it's just all there is to it. I would turn into a cheesecake. I don't think I'd be unhappy as a cheesecake unless somebody tried to gobble me up. Then I'd be unhappy as a cheesecake. What I can't wait is to see how it turns out. No, you don't have to do, I was going to say, another thing is you guys don't have to do the egg wash. If you would rather, you could do butter on it, but the only thing is the butter will make the crust burn if you use the fresh fruit. So you need to either use fresh fruit that you've cooked down a little bit, or use canned fruit, because you will have to cut your baking time in order to keep the butter from burning the crust. It does taste really good that way, but that's why I did the part shortening, part butter. So are we talking like a regular cheesecake here, or we want to do a New York style, baked in the oven, could, you know, break somebody's neck if you threw it at their head kind of cheesecake? Cheza, I have never tried to use milk. Some people say you can, but I've never tried using it, so I don't know whether milk would actually do well with it or not.
That's okay.
Mom's feeding her animals. Actually, she's feeding the cat, herd of cats she has. She actually does. She's got, like, let's see, there's Batty, and then there's Timmy, and then there's Queenie, and then you got Penny, which we sometimes call Pin Pin, and then you've got the three youngins. So you got Ginger, who talks a lot. We kind of call her Crybaby because, you know, she likes to run in and out. She's like a 2-year-old. Then you got Tigger, and then you got Pepper. Now you guys probably seen them on, yeah, Mom calls him Pepper Shaker. Because when he walks, his butt wiggles a little bit. It's really funny. So yeah, alright, New York style cheesecake it is, dear. I've got a couple other recipes. I'm not going to say what they are, but I'm going to get those done first. I'm going to try and do at least once a week, either video or live. Right now it'll just kind of depend on my schedule and where I can be and when. But the cheesecake, I would say we'll do that in the next couple of weeks. Definitely. Because, yeah, now you got me wanting cheesecake. I'm almost like going to run down to the store and buy one, but no. No, I ain't going to do it. I'll wait and whet my cheesecake appetite with that one. I think it'll be worth the wait. Alright, just a few more minutes. And, hello, Queen. It's alright. We appreciate you dropping in and saying hi. Door's always open. As long as you're bringing good vibes and good things. Oh, well, good, good, good. I'll tell you, my daughter, she likes cheesecake too. She's not big on sweets anymore, which she never really was. I raised my kids a lot on, like, fresh fruit. I didn't want them getting into just eating candy and stuff. It's bad for their teeth and all that. Alright, so. Oh, there it is. So, does anybody else, like, look for stuff and it's right in front of them, literally? Like, if it was a snake, it would have bit you that close. Because I just lost my water bottle, and as you guys saw when I had the camera flipped earlier, it was right behind my phone. And yes, I'm drinking water. Because, well, because I don't want to repeat. Yeah, see? So, I'm just going to tell a story here. Tell one on myself. I was looking for my phone the other day. And I mean, I was going all over. And I was actually talking to my daughter. So I'm looking for my phone all over my house. And I'm talking to my daughter on it. And she finally hears me, like, rustling around and stuff. She says, "Mom, what are you doing?" No sooner than I said, "I'm looking for my phone," then the light come on, and I was like, you know what, never mind, you didn't hear that. And all I heard in the background was her laughing her butt off and telling my grandma. Honestly, if I was going to choose a food to introduce to the UK or to people who've never had American food, I would probably choose one of the simplest ones, but it's one that can just be fantastic. And that is just a simple beefsteak. It's all over the world, but it's also one that has almost become uniquely American. Either that, or I would do a burger. Just a really good quality burger. Again, I know that's something that you can get all over the place. Now, as far as desserts go, I don't know. Because again, I'm not cooking anything that you can't get in other places. And something I would really stress to a lot of people is we're a melting pot over here. Like, we, from the very beginning, have been... What are sloppy joes? Let me finish my thought real quick. We've had people from all over the world move here. So to honestly say that any dish we have is just purely an American invention, well, I would say this: there are very few of them. Now, due to either ingredients that couldn't be gotten or something like that that has made it where it's necessary to change the recipe, most of our food is really from everywhere else because most of our people are from everywhere else. Now, sloppy joes. Sloppy joes are... how do you explain a sloppy joe? They're just really good. The sauce is kind of a tangy, barbecue-y ketchup sort of thing. I mean, it doesn't sound good, but it really is. Now, I don't have a homemade recipe for that because I don't eat them very much. I'm not sure why. I think it's just one of those things I don't think of very often. You know, I'm going to have to look up a recipe for that and see if there is a homemade recipe for sloppy joes. Might do that on one of our quick ones. Like if I do a lunch one. Oh, they're great. I love them too. I actually, I'll sometimes take like provolone or mozzarella in the slices, and I'll make my sloppy joes with that. My dad used to like American cheese with his a lot. I thought it was too salty. That's one thing with me. You guys will know, the more you watch these videos, you'll understand I don't do a lot of salt. I like the flavor of the food to be the star. Oh, I love barbecue sauce. I actually make my own most of the time. I've got a couple of good recipes that once or twice a year, I'll make up a couple of big batches and just can them. Oh, Puerto Rican, that sounds really, really good. A lot of people don't like the balsamic vinegar, but if you use it right, it is an absolutely wonderful tool to have in your kitchen. I wish I could remember the dish that I was first introduced to with the balsamic vinegar. It was a manager of mine at a place that I was working. He was Greek, from the Mediterranean region, and he knew a lot about dishes and recipes from there. I can't for the life of me remember what the name of the dish was, though. But he made it as an appreciation lunch for all of the employees. So, exactly. Yes. And like I said, it's great for marinades. I have tasted it on its own. It's a bit strong to use on its own. So, like, don't ever, stick your finger in a bottle of it or turn a bottle of the vinegar up, because you won't get a very pleasant surprise. But when it comes to cooking, it's one of those things that is just, mwah. Hi, Carolyn. How are you today? I'm glad you were able to make it in. All right, guys. So it is almost 4:20. So we are going to go check on the pie. And I will need to flip the screen for that. So rather than make you guys dizzy, I'll just flip the screen right now. Alright, so we're going to go check the pie and turn it down again to 350.
Okay, so let me just get my invites out here real quick, you guys. Hello, everybody over there on Cindy's YouTube. This little lady is fixing to start up and doing what she does. So,
which is basically be really nice to everybody. Alright, so you got the 450. And as you can see, it's not browning a whole lot. Well, we don't want it to. But,
okay, there we are.
I don't know if you can see it or not. It is starting to bubble. So, anyway, we're going to turn this down and head back to the back again. From this point, it'll be about 45 minutes.
How many?
About 45 minutes.
Okay.
At 350.
So whenever you get done with your peeps, can I put you back to work in the kitchen for a little bit?
Oh, to do dinner? Yeah.
Yeah, fry some eggs and some bacon and just make breakfast.
Okay, well.
That sounds good.
So I'm making breakfast for dinner tonight.
Alright, you guys, here you go. Hi, everybody.
Alright, so. Now, again, you want to start it at 400 for half an hour. And then after that half an hour, you want to turn it back down to 350. And you're going to bake it for 45 minutes to an hour. And the reason I say 45 minutes to an hour is because bake time does have a lot to do with, the recipe. But, like, your oven, if it's hotter, or if you got to get to know your oven. Sometimes it'll take the whole hour. Sometimes it will only take the 45 minutes. Depends on moisture content of your pie and all that, because you want to get it baked down so that it's nice and gooey, so it doesn't run out like water when you cut into it. So I would say a good idea, good rule of thumb is to go for the 45 minutes. If you poke down in the center of your hole and the fruit feels just a little bit too crispy, if it's not quite cooked enough, you let it roll for a little bit longer. Again, play with your food. Play with your food. That's all I can tell you. Just play with your food. You'll get to know your oven the more often you use it. For those of you who bake often anyway, you already know whether you're, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, baby. Poor kiddo. Oh, I always hated that whenever I would have to go to the hospital or something, and they would tell you couldn't eat for 24 hours ahead of time, and it never failed. And there was always food around when I couldn't eat it. hopefully he'll be all right tomorrow. And then after his procedure, he can have some good food again. So, good luck with that, my dear. Oh, oh, poor baby. I don't mean to laugh, but I would probably laugh at my kid in the same situation. I would be all poor baby, but then, you know, because she's 18, I would probably then do the ornery thing and be like, but that's because that's just, you know, my family. We love our kids, but we always pick on them, and they pick on us back. Oh, not a problem. Hopefully I get to do quite a few more. Something too. Go, Sweener. Don't tell me that. Ned knows how to talk to the Evan. So go find Ned and see if Ned can come over to your house and help you learn to talk to your Evan. But no. Alright, that one tickled me. Something else. I do a lot of cooking in cast iron and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys would be interested in this, but one of the biggest things that I've heard, especially from people who didn't grow up in a household like mine where cast iron was widely used, don't really know how to season it and keep it seasoned. And I will tell you this, the new cast iron, the stuff that's been made, even within the last 20 years, isn't as good as the stuff our grandmothers had. I don't know whether they're not using the same quality metal to make them, but they're just not, they don't take well. Well, you can try whacking the crap out of your oven, but you're just gonna hurt your hand. It ain't gonna bother that oven one bit. No, not a bit. But yeah, I can do a video or something if you guys would be interested on it, to just kind of show you how not only to season them the first time, but then explain what it takes to keep them seasoned. Most people would... Oh yeah, so I still have, I literally, and I know I've said this on another video, I have 2 pans that have had 5 generations of my family, and I'm the 5th generation cooking in them. My dad's grandma, I got one from her. Actually, it was his great-grandma. She brought it over whenever they come over from Germany. So, I mean, it's over 100 years old. And that's the one that, if you see me making the breakfast video the other day, I put the eggs in it and they were sloshing around in the pan. That's that one. The other one I got is nearly that old, and then I have a third one that is about 80 years old. So I totally believe in the old cast iron. Like, I will go to thrift stores, flea markets, stuff like that, and I'll see the old cast iron, even if there's a little bit of rust in it. I'll bring it home and I'll clean it up, because I know how to. And there's always somebody out there that could use a good pan. And like I said, I mean, if you've got a environmental sensibilities, what could be more environmentally healthy than a pan that's going to last you for 100 years? You know, how much more recycling can you do, or reusing? So yeah, I thought about doing that, just doing some instructional stuff like that. I used to do quite a bit of knife work in the kitchen, so I know certain techniques that you can use for prepping vegetables and things like that. Right now I'm just going to worry about cooking, but if that's something you guys would be interested in, we'll talk about it down the line. So let's see, we checked at 420, 440, 10 minutes after 5, I think is when we need to go check it. Yeah, Pump, now it's working. Yeah, it did the same thing to me today that it did to me the other day. Only I think it might actually have taken longer today. Oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Um, One of the things that people want to get a little iffy about is the way you clean your cast iron. You don't use soap and water. You use water, but you don't use soap. Soap pulls all the seasoning out of your cast iron. Now, if you've got a well-seasoned pan, it might be able to stand up to doing that a handful of times. But after about the third time, you're going to start to notice the difference. You never want to use soap. The way I do mine is I scrape as much out of it as I can. I don't know, Pomp. Did you do something to Cheza? Oh, never mind. I know what it is. Ha 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 ha. Don't worry, Pomp. It's nothing bad. Anyway, so I heat my pan up, back up to cooking temperature so that it's like bubbling and popping and stuff. And then I turn on my cold water and I splash that pan under the cold water, and the difference between the heat and the cold water bubbles everything else up. Then you just take a little green scrubby or just some kind of little scrubber, not metal, never metal. And you just scrub the rest of it out. Then you rinse it, wipe it dry, and oil it again. If you do that every time, not only will it continue to make a better seasoning on your new pans, it will... Yeah. No, you don't have to go to your room, Pomp. Nobody's sending you to your room. You're not being grounded, and you're not in trouble at all. And you haven't completely missed the pie. You made it back in time. You will get to see the finished product. Yeah, we missed him. It's because we love Pomp. I need to work on my facial expressions. Who's doing memes? Please tell me there's nobody in here clipping this.
Hey, Rube.
Yeah, Ma.
Did you take my empty totes down to the dollhouse?
No.
Okay, is there any way I can get you to... I know you're on here, but can you take them down with you and get me a couple of empty totes and close the dollhouse up? Can I get you to do that?
You want me to take your empty totes down to the dollhouse?
No, bring me up a couple so I have some that might sell stuff in.
Oh, okay. Alright, guys, so we're going to wander around for a minute because I got to help my mom. And I'm going to take you guys with me just so you guys can see the absolute nightmare that is my mother's doll room. So, we're going to walk out in the big woods. It is so squishy here. But we are walking out into the... Ooh, almost slipped and fell on my butt. Gotta pay attention. There we go again. This is where a lot of her... Whoa, I am slipping and sliding all over the place. There, I walked completely past them. Alright. See... Sorry, dropped my phone. Oh, alright. We are going to put these down. And then I'm going to try to make it back down there without slipping and falling in the mud, because I would expect you guys to laugh, because I would laugh at you. No, Pomp, I was just showing where my mom does some of her work at. Trust me, I'm not crazy about the dolls. But she helped me out with my live, and she needed some empty totes so that she can put the dolls that she sells in there. Now, if you misbehave, Pomp, I will, I'll just send you one of her dolls. Let that creepy little sucker stare at you for a while. Oh, alright, make it in the door without falling backwards. Now, I would like to say one thing. Well, give me a minute. I'm going to run these in there and then... Now, as long as I don't have any more interruptions, we shouldn't have anything else going on here. Hey now, Dunkin' makes good coffee, but not as good as Maxwell House. Not as good as Maxwell House. Alright, so, let me think. Oh, hey, does anybody else have a live after I'm done? I'm not sure if anybody else is going live tonight or not. If anyone is, let me know. I don't know how to pin the link, but if anybody could pin the link, if there's someone else coming after me, or if anybody's got a video out. I'm gonna have to do some quick math here. I don't math well. But let me get the cat. So, at 4:20, we checked. 4:20, we checked the pie. So 4:40 would have been 20 minutes. 50's 30. It'd be 40 minutes at 5 o'clock. So about 5:05, we'll go and check. About 5:05, it should be done, so we can go check and see what our pie looks like. I don't know if you need to or not. I know there's a way to set mods through YouTube. I still haven't figured out how to set mods on here. Hopefully for right now I'm not going to need any. If I ever do, I should be able to, hun, but I don't know how. And right now, I'm almost afraid to touch buttons. Because I'm just really just not very good at this. As far as the technical side of it goes. But if anybody can put the link in, or if anybody knows who's going live, just let me know. And I will definitely jump over there after we're done. Like I said, 5:05, the pie should be done. Unless anybody, Ghost Wiener, you better behave. Unless anybody has any other questions after that, I will probably go ahead and end the live right after we do the pie. It's up to you guys. I know normally the lives go about 2 hours, but I know we also had some snafus at the beginning of this one, so I can tell you that I can smell that pie all the way back here, and it is smelling absolutely fantastic. Again, I like to do a summer apple. You can add the nutmeg and the cinnamon if you want to. I like the taste of actually just biting into an apple, even whenever I do pie. It's not that I won't eat apple pie, it's just I don't eat a whole lot of it. I don't like cooked fruit. Pomp, you're not going to share even a little, huh? Not even just a little slice with everybody? That's not very nice. I don't blame you, but that's not very nice. Well, I guess if I make pie for Pomp, I will have to, I'll have to make a second one, that way everybody else can have some too. Because Pomp will probably, sounds to me like he's, actually, yeah, I think, Puerto Rican, I think, I call them apple bites, but it's basically you take a wedge of apple instead of thin slices, or you can do the thin slices however you want, but you fill basically a bite-sized piece of crust, or you can make them a little bit bigger. So I think that's pretty close to it, and I do those sometimes because they are a lot easier. You get that apple pie taste, but it's a handheld, basically 2 or 3 bites. Yeah, I can't do hot fruit. Can't do it. Even with apple pie, like if I eat any of it, I gotta have it cold. I can't do straight out of the oven. Now I know a lot of people were like, no, give it to me straight out of the oven. Put a scoop of vanilla ice cream on it, or a little bit of whipped cream, and they want it just like that. Paul, honestly, I'm not sure how in the world I would ship something like that to you. I really don't think it would. I don't think it would last. And boy, that'd be hard. That would be hard. I might be able to figure it out, but that would be a lot of work to try and get one pie to you. Might just be easier when I come over to visit my cousin Jamie, if we meet up and then I can make you a pie. That might be easier, because I do plan on... So, Puerto Rican, that caramel drizzle apple bread can actually translate really well into an apple pie. I make one, it's called a caramel apple, and it's like what we would consider fair food, the caramel apples that you can buy with the nuts and the caramel all over them, and you eat them on a stick. I figured out how to translate that into pie, and it came out really well. I had several people tell me it actually tastes just like eating the caramel apple. But I like the freshness. I don't like heavy flavors in my desserts. Yeah, Pomp, it would cost a fortune. It really would. I'm not gonna say that it couldn't be done, but it might be the most expensive pie you ever had. Pomp, you don't know what caramel is? So would you guys like me to make some caramel next time, just to be able to show what caramel is? I can't believe that. Okay, yeah, so caramel is how we pronounce it over here. I think it's actually pronounced what? Caramel? Caramel is how you actually pronounce it. So, yeah. Yeah, so if you know what it is, then imagine that being wrapped around a fresh apple and a stick shoved up the apple. And that's see, I'm not the only one. Lisa says it that way too. Actually, it just kind of depends. Oh yeah, Puerto Rican. I've told you a couple different times. Most of us kids grew up with parents that told us, Hey, Occult Life, how you doing? That told us don't play with our food. Sit down, don't play with the food. Oh, but I'm gonna tell you right now, play with your food. They're similar to toffee apples, yeah. It's similar to toffee apples, but with a caramel apple, instead of having the crunch, like the candied outer shell, it's chewy, like caramel. But yeah, I'm going to tell you to play with your food. I'm also going to tell you that every recipe I make, you can adjust. There are very few times when you can't adjust a recipe. It actually happens most often in baking, and most of the time that's simply because you've got to be very aware of moisture content for your ingredients. You've got to be very aware of bake times for the ingredient. Well, raw side. Actually, in about 15 minutes, we're going to go check that pie and see if it's done. I know that it is smelling really good. I wish I could have gotten Streamlabs to work. Oh, I do like peanut butter fudge. I wish I could have gotten Streamlabs to come online. I did say before, I said earlier in the live, or maybe it was the one I had to do through YouTube before I could get Streamlabs working, that from now on, because of this, what I will probably do, my name may show up live a half hour before I said I'm gonna. It's not that I'm going early, it's going to be because I want to make sure that I have enough time for Streamlabs and YouTube to get their shit together. Because I don't want to have to start and stop again. Next time I do a live, I want to just be able to keep rolling. I know, Pump, you don't like peanut butter. I can't do, like, I couldn't find StreamYard in a version that was compatible for my phone. I have an older phone. Even a newer one that I've got is a couple of years old. Like, the manufacturer date on it's 2 years ago. And I just went and bought it brand new, so... excuse me, sorry. I wound up with Streamlabs. And it does seem to work fairly well. I mean, the picture's good. I'm able to... Oh, my lord, I think I'm getting the hiccups. Oh, this is going to be great. I hate... yep, I hate hiccups. Streamlabs seems to do fairly well. I thought about that, as far as a tablet and stuff like that, but, those are super expensive to be able to actually get one like I'd need. And right now, as long as I can keep StreamYard or Streamlab talking to YouTube, which it seems to take it about 20 minutes or so from the time I first start to log on to them catching up to each other. That's why I said for now, just to have to deal with what I've got. And if I say I'm going to go live at 4 o'clock and you guys see me posting live at like 3 or 3:30, that's probably because I'm trying to make sure that I've got everything ready. I mean, not that if you know, it's up and all that you guys can't go ahead and come in, but hey, Ghost Quest, how you doing? How you doing? I'm sorry, I love Joey from Friends. That's the first time I ever saw that, was Joey doing it on Friends. I nearly fell off my chair. Really nearly fell off my chair laughing so hard. I am glad to see Jimmy made it in. He made it in just in time for the finale. Yeah. So... I'm not going to say anything, because we're going to go towards the front. As good as this is... Oh, that's okay. As good as this is smelling, I want to go ahead and do a check on it. It's okay to check on it, but just remember, every time you open that oven, you drop the temperature of your oven. So especially if you're doing breads, try not to open the oven. Because, again, heat has a lot to do with inflation on the bread and stuff like that. So, if you want to keep all your yeasties doing their business, you gotta keep the temperature pretty steady. Now, this is a pie, so it's not gonna be as bad. Okay, so I'm gonna flip the camera. I'm gonna go quiet, because Mom's doing her live up front, and I don't want to interrupt her. And we're gonna go scope out the pie. Oh boy. I'm not even getting in between Jimmy and Pomp here. I'm just gonna step back and let you guys have that one. Alright, so here we go. I'm gonna be quiet. Shh, you'll hear Mom in the background.
Yeah, you're definitely going to hear my voice in the background. There ain't no doubt about that. Sick?
Sorry,
No,
steam.
she does not smell. She's not any smell. Cindy actually took her apart and undressed her, washed her clothes, put her back together, and this is what you got. So this is a vintage 1950s. She's the hard plastic. She's not a walker, and she is strong. Cindy, did you restring her? The nun?
No.
Okay.
Yes, the nun was restrung.
Okay. That's what
I put new banding in her.
Alright, so she has been.
So, that's what it looks like now. It still has 15 minutes left, approximately. It will brown more. Pomp, don't make me whoop you. I will get out the wooden spoon, and I will whoop you. That is where the egg wash comes in. So if I'd have put butter on it, it would have been a little darker brown. But then it would have probably browned too much and gone over to the, burnt side. Are you leaving already, Ghost Quest? So, yeah, as I said before, you can use butter to make your pie crust brown, but I would say not to if you're going to use fresh fruit, because, again, it takes so long for the fresh fruit to cook that the butter on the pie crust will tend to try and make it burn, unless you have a pie crust cover, which is basically looks like a circle of rubber that goes around the edge of your pie pan to keep the crust at the edge from burning. Actually, Pomp, Jimmy might have an easier time collecting it. I'm just down here in Missouri, so he's not that far from me. Pomp, why are you telling me not to encourage you? Are you talking to yourself again, or talking about yourself in the third person? Are you? Don't do that, it's kind of odd. Actually, I don't care. Do whatever you want. In this live stream, the only thing I can tell you right now is we don't talk religion, we don't talk politics, and we just behave ourselves. I mean, not too bad, but I mean, we just avoid certain subjects. I don't need mods right now. I hope that I never start having an issue where I do need them. But I can tell you this, if I ever have to start assigning mods, there's a zero tolerance. I will not tolerate anybody giving BS on this stream. Now, that being said, we all know what, the difference between joking BS and somebody being mean. So, we just basically be like we have been all this time. And if anybody tries to come in and ruin it, well, we know how to take care of that too. But I don't see that happening. I mean, this is just a cooking show. Who in the world is going to come in and start trouble on a cooking show? I mean, you would really have to be bored and have nothing to do to want to do that. It's not hot outside, Pomp, but yeah, that pie is kind of hot. I wouldn't want to touch it right now. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised, raw side. And actually, Puerto Rican, you can do that if you want, and that's actually probably the better way to do it if you're going to use butter to help your crust brown, is just not to put the crust on the top crust on until you're almost done cooking. You do not need moderation. Cheza, the wooden spoon is only for serious infractions. Running around the room like a child has never been an infraction in my kitchen. Okay, so my chat's jumping. I'm trying to go back and make sure I'm in the right spot. Let's see. So trolls aren't picky, but we know how to deal with them. So I mean, if you guys are ever in here and you do see somebody like that show up, just let me know, and they will be gone. And I don't mean they will be timed out. I mean, if they're they're trolling and they're just being out of hand, we will definitely they'll be eliminated. We won't have to worry about them ever coming in again. Now, if you guys, and I know we don't always all get along, if you guys have got an argument going on, I would appreciate you not bringing it on the stream. That's just courteous. I don't want to mediate. I never was a good mediator. Well, personally, I've never been fond of a horsewhip. But, I mean, if you want to try, you ain't gonna get in trouble on mine, Paul. Trust me, I know what my sense of humor is like. You would have to be doing something to really, yeah, if I have to. I have the spanking spoon. It's a nice, thick wooden spoon. So, hey, jackasses are welcome, I'm telling you. We don't mind jackasses, smartasses. I'll even say dumbasses. It don't matter what kind of ass you are. You're welcome here. Like I said, just don't be mean to each other. And guys, help me keep an eye out, because I mean, like, we all know there are trolls around. So if we get something like that, just help me keep an eye out for it. And if we start getting a bunch of them like they did on Laura the other day, then I may have to, you know, give some of you guys some wrenches and help me get them out of chat. I think, for that matter, is probably not going to need to. So, it depends on what kind of asshole. Because, I mean, like, I'm nice with you guys, but you guys don't bring the asshole out in me. But, yeah, I'm a huge asshole. Like, I'm totally... You tick me off once and that's it. You're out. You're done. I will walk away like you are not even talking. Hopefully I won't have to do that, you're offside. Hopefully I really won't. Okay, so we are T-minus 5 minutes and counting. And we will be able to go and get that pie out of the oven. I really wish they had smell-o-vision. I don't know if you guys have ever watched, like, the Garfield and Friends when they went to get the new television and it was a smell-o-vision. It really was, Pomp. I mean, it was crazy. Like she said, they just, like, come in all at once. I don't think I'm on their radar. I mean, I know if I'm on here long enough, considering that I'm also a part of the community that you guys are part of, the paranormal, they might touch my channel, but again, quite honestly, I don't really care if I get any bigger than the community, because it was you guys' support that got me doing this, and it's you guys' help that helps me pick out my recipes. So if all I ever do is garner the interest of the community I'm already in a part of, that's fine with me. We can all just cook and joke and have fun. Wouldn't it though, smell-o-vision? Yes, they did. They did a really good job about taking them out. I mean, they got them out quick. And that's why I said, I don't think, knock on wood. No, again, knock on wood, we won't have that problem. But if Iffy Boy does show up, I don't think he will. He's got no reason to, other than just straight boredom. And there's like millions of other people he can go be bored with. If he ever does, I don't even want you guys to give him a chance to speak. He is on the persona non grata list. He will not be allowed to be in my lives at all, because he has shown himself to be, well, he's shown himself to be the kind of asshole that when I was younger, I would, yeah, we won't talk about that, but he's no tolerance. I don't even want him in. If he shows up, that's it. Let me know, and he will be immediately banned. And you guys may know of a couple of more that need to be done with that. I mean, you guys have been in the community and dealing with these people longer than I have, so I mean, if there's anybody else that should be just not even given the chance to speak, let me know, and they will be eliminated. I will ban them and block them from my page, so they won't even be allowed to come back in. Spoons of Fury. Okay, there was, the movie. I can't remember. There was a line, I don't think it was Spoons of Fury, I think it was like Fists of Fury or something like that, but there was a movie about, that was some like, yeah, my brain doesn't work right. Well, Pump, I'm going to tell you right now, he can try stalking any way he wants. But when you're on here, he can't do nothing. He can't stalk. Well, that's okay, Pump. You fit right in, like you've always been a part of the community. You just come in and you fit right in. Thank you, Caroline. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, right now, I'm still figuring everything out. But I do know that if I have to, even if it's got to be after a live, I definitely will, he will be blocked. So, yeah, Pomp, you're one of us now. So just suck it up, Buttercup, because you're stuck with us. And that's all I'm going to say. Just suck it up, Buttercup. Oh, we were talking about trolls, like if they started, if any of the known trolls started coming in to my lives. I don't expect they will, but they would just immediately be banned, and I only know of one. That's why I was asking everybody, if you guys do see them, just let me know. Well, I mean, you know, the letter C is pretty cool. My name starts with a C. It might be a coincidence. Alright, guys. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. It is time. So, Mom is still live. So, we're going to go silent again. I'm going to flip the camera. And we are going to go see if that apple pie is ready to be out, or if I need to give it a few more minutes. Alright, here we go. Wait, come on, camera. There we go.
I don't know why. It's sideways.
Yeah, that's the one I was telling you about before, Mom.
Roxanne 121, Mary Kate 130. Cindy, look what they're bidding on.
Oh, cool. I just got her done today.
Mm-hmm.
So, here we go. A knife to test it.
I might be able to.
What, fix it?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see.
Sometimes you don't even have to heat them up that much. Just kind of take your screwdriver to the side of it.
Is it
Right now
done?
we got Mary Kate at 130.
Almost. I'm going
Okay.
to check the tenderness of the fruit.
Okay.
So, see the hole in there? Wait a minute, you might get it. Oh, see that? See the bubbles popping? That is exactly what you're supposed to see. So, let's see. Oh, yeah.
Hello, Miss Carla.
So, we've still got just a little bit of resistance.
Roxanne, would you like to go to 131?
130 with Mary Kate.
So, I'm going to set the phone down for just a second. I got to grab another heating pad.
Kathy S. Claycamp is live now. I know, right? Isn't she beautiful, though? So, Miss Mary Kate, 130. Oh, Miss Roxanne is out. All right.
Thank you, Roxanne.
Thank you, Miss Roxanne. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. Miss Mary Kate from 130.
So there it is. Now,
Wow. Is all I can say is thank you all.
got a nice tender
I
crust.
love you and appreciate you.
It should flake just that
Mary
way.
Kate, that one is yours. Okay, so just in case, I know you guys are hearing Cindy in the background.
All right, so that came out just like it was supposed to. So the reason I did the little squish on the reason I get 423 locked, I don't know what that means, but anyway, I did the corner of it like that just to show you what it should look like when it breaks apart. Because if you're not careful, you will get a stiff crust, and that is basically like biting into an extremely hard biscuit. You don't want to do that. I also tried to show you how it will bubble. If you don't see it bubbling on the sides and on the top, then that means it hasn't started to cook. Unless you have gone to the end of the time that it's supposed to cook for, then you might have another problem. If you don't add enough liquid, then sometimes you get a dry pie, and that's not very good. Dry pie is not good. So, anyway, so I just got this. If something's happening with my Streamlabs later, don't freak out. I got a message on the bottom of my phone. It says 423 locked. And it says go to Streamlabs or something. I don't know. That may be a feature that I'm locked out of because I have the free app instead of the paid for app. Because I'm cheap. If I can get it for free, I'm not going to pay for it when it comes to stuff like that. At least not at this point. But yeah, so that's what it should look like. Nice golden brown crust. Of course, if you like a darker crust, just cook it a little bit longer. I would not recommend cooking it any shorter amount of time, or you will have a, you'll have an underdone crust. And if any of you have ever bitten into a pizza that the crust is not quite all the way done on, it gets the same unpleasant experience with pie. You do not want underdone crust, so. Yeah, ghost wiener, that's how a lot of people eat it. They like it with, like a scoop of vanilla ice cream on it. Pomp, you are not a nightmare. You are not. You may occasionally be a freaky little clown that runs around in people's imaginations, but you are not a nightmare. Honestly, you just got a little bit of a... Well, you're like me. I think sometimes you just say stuff and don't think about it before you do. And that's, it is. Uh-huh. You can argue with me all you want, Pomp. I don't think you're a nightmare, and you're not going to change my mind, so... Now, here in just a few minutes, I am going to have to, probably get off of here. Say we'll run till 15 after. And then I have been given my marching orders. I've got to go make some bacon and eggs. Because we're going to have some breakfast for dinner tonight. Hi, Julie. How are ya? Oh, I gotta cut it and try it? Well, how about I cut it and then I'll let my mom and my stepdad try it, because they actually really like apple pie. So, I tasted the filling before I put it in, so I know what it's going to taste like. I always taste my food, but I know I'm actually starting to get hungry myself. Normally when I cook and do stuff like this, it would be hours before I start getting hungry, but well, thank you. Thank you very much. I do always worry about my pie coming out looking good. The biggest fear I have is not getting it done or burning the crust. Again, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been probably baking with my grandmother since I was 10, and I'm 41 now. 20 years has been my professional career. Most of it has been cooking, though. Baking has always been kind of just a personal love. I love doing it. Well, hopefully I don't make you drool too much. If so, then you probably ought to keep a bottle of water with you. We don't want anybody dehydrating. Even me. That's why I have a bottle of water here. No alcohol. No alcohol tonight. Although when summertime comes, we might have to do an outside live. Might have to do just not really, Ghost Wiener. If you burn the crust is just pretty much burnt. However, that doesn't mean that the filling won't still be good. So, you could still have the filling and just not eat the part of the crust that's burnt. However, if you look at there's a thing that you can put around the edges of your pie plates that covers that edge crust that tends to burn the most. So, honestly, I would, especially if you like butter in your crust, I would invest in one of those. I actually have one. I do not have it up here. It's in my kitchen at home, which you guys have seen in a video. Hopefully one day I will be able to get... Oh, Ryan's live? Alright, cool. Well, guys, unless you want to hang out for a few more minutes and see me cut it, we can all head over to Ryan's live, and because I'm not going to show you me making biscuits, or not biscuits and gravy. I'm not going to show you making bacon and eggs. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know how to make bacon and eggs. So, alright, everybody, we're going to go ahead and end now. We're going to send everybody over to Ryan. Well, I don't know how to send everybody over to Ryan, but go over to Ryan. Tell him hi. Well, if you guys... Okay. Alright, well, I'll stay on for a little while longer then. Let's see. We pulled it out just a few minutes ago, so I'd say another 10 minutes and I should be able to cut it. If you guys want to go back and forth, I will leave my live up. I am going to smoke a cigarette and go start breakfast, though. Dinner. Breakfast for dinner. So yeah, I'll keep it up, and here in just a couple of minutes, like, well, it's 5:12 now, my time, so how about another 10 minutes, and then we'll cut it, and then after that, I really am going to need to get out of here. I will, Pomp, I will. Don't worry. Just a few minutes. Just a few minutes. Now, this is a nasty habit, and it's not one you will see me do while I'm actively cooking. Because I've explained that before. I explained it on my testing live, that I just don't do, I don't do that while I'm cooking. There's a lot of things I don't do when I'm cooking. I try not to touch my face, try not to touch my hair. Which if I'm ever baking and I touch my face, you're going to know, because there'll be flour on my face. I definitely don't smoke. I try not even to drink while I'm cooking. Just nothing that's going to get my hands anywhere near my face or my mouth. Just to cut down contamination. That was one thing all the kitchens that I've worked in were really big about, cross-contamination procedures and not having cross-contamination in the kitchen. I've never worked in a kitchen where you were allowed to smoke while you were on duty. So I have gone as long as 8 to 12 hours without having one. Which, you know, probably should have been a clue. There's nothing wrong with smoking on a cooking channel. There is something wrong if you're smoking a cigarette while you're cooking. Now, as I was saying before, during the summertime, maybe we can get some lives together where I take you guys outside and do some grilling on the barbecue grill. And in which case, you might see me drink a beer or two, because I do like to grill and chill. So yeah, I mean, there is a type of smoking that is very good to do on a cooking channel. But that's not one of them. Alright, guys, so Carolyn, do you know how... I'm telling you all the no-nos. All the no-nos that you do not do while you're cooking. Now, when you're done cooking, that's one thing. And before I start cooking dinner, I will be washing my mitts. These mitts. But, yeah, hopefully we keep doing this, and I'll get to show you how I do some stuff on the grill. If I can get a hold of one, I'd like to show you how to do rabbit the way I do it the way I do it, which is really good on a grill. H what, Pomp? So the way that I've had it done is, of course, you've got to get all the insides out and take all the fur and skin off. And then you wash it real good. Just get it rinsed out and washed out real good. And then you stuff it with like carrots and onions and potatoes. And I use toothpicks, but you can use cooking twine. And you just keep... I said, Carolyn, do you know how to put Ryan's link in? Because whenever I'm done cutting the pie, I will go over to Ryan and watch him and catch the rest of his live. No, Pomp. No, just no. Not doing alligator pie. But anyway, so you just close up the body cavity and you wrap it in aluminum foil and you slow cook it. And it turns out really tender, with a lot of good flavor. Now, I've had fried rabbit before, and it was kind of tough, but I've always had wild rabbit. Okay, well, I don't... Okay, so Carolyn, what is his channel name? Because, like I said, I really don't know. I'm afraid to touch buttons to make a mod right now, and I don't know... Gumbo's good. I don't know how to do the link. Like I said, I'm still fiddling around with some of this stuff, so I mean, you guys may see me randomly pop live because I'm just meddling around. Because yeah, I found a spot to do the mods and stuff on Facebook, but oh, Sir Spookfest. Gotcha. Okay. So, let's see. We are going to go cut that pie. And I will show you guys what it looks like. Now, well, this is always the rub with pie. Hey, darling. Yes, Wayne, I finally resolved the chat problem. Sir Spookfest is live right now. So if any of you guys don't want to hang around for me to cut the pie, you can go on over to him. Gumbo, okay, Pomp, I'm going to have to make gumbo. Again, I've got a couple of recipes that I'm going to do, and then we're going to do some cheesecake. That might be one of those where if I do a long stream, I could do the cheesecake and have it going while I make the gumbo. That's up to you guys, if you think you guys would like to do something like that. That is one thing with doing live streams. I do have more time to actually do full meals. So I will do that if you guys want. But for right now, I'm going to flip the camera. And we're going to go cut some pie. So off we go. Oh, and I was going to say the rub with pie is until you get it done and cut it, you never really know if it's thickened up. Now, I will tell you, until it cools, it will be a little bit runny. So when I cut into this, it may juice a little bit more than I want it to, but it's also not going to be very cool yet. So anyway, let's go cut a pie.
Like 8 inches, I think, if that. No, 7 inches. They're only 7 inches, and we're gonna start these two off. $15 for the set.
Hey, nobody said you can get my apple pie.
Now, see, guys, you guys have got competition for the apple pie. And this guy's here, so he's probably going to get to eat it. Pump says, leave my pie alone.
Who said that?
Pump, he says, leave my pie alone. Wayne and Jimmy have already tried to take it.
It's my pie.
Oh, Mom says it's her pie now.
No, it's mine. I'm bigger than all of you.
Oh, well, I get. Okay.
All right, so.
I concede. Will you share?
Oh, we have an argument going on. Well, they're lucky my papa isn't here. Because if he was here...
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Alright, so like I said, it hasn't cooled a whole lot, guys. So it's going to be a little bit runny.
Thank you, Miss Janet.
And because we had to use the square pan,
15.
it's not going to be the wedge cut. Alright, so let's see how this turns out.
And this is the original Hansel and Gretel, and he does have his shoes. And they both.
Oh, this is
hook
going
on
to
with
fall
a stand.
apart.
So,
Yep, it's going to fall apart. Alright, guys, I'm going to have to put the phone down for just a second.
you want me to hold it?
Well,
Let me see.
okay. See, you're doing something right now, too.
Hey, I
so-
can multitask. I can stand over. Just shut up, Paul.
So the pie is definitely
Okay.
juicy. But I want you guys to come here. And I'm going to show you.
15 with Janet. Anybody for 16. Getting some passes.
Okay.
So it's a little juicy right now because it's not thickened, but you can see how the juice just kind of does that little slow drip right there. So when this cools off, that will thicken up nicely.
There goes the timer. Woo-hoo! Congratulations, Miss Janet. You got this.
Well, Pomp is a little hard to see, but
for $15.
it is actually fairly brown. As you can, you can see it better there. So that's what it looks like.
Hey guys, turn over here and see what I'm doing.
And this is Mom's auction.
So you got these two lovelies, Miss Janet, for
So.
$15. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you and appreciate you.
Again, if you like a darker crust, keep it in for a few more minutes. When you do it like I did, you can actually cook it for about another 10 or 15 minutes before you start getting into the burnt one. Okay, Pomp, hold on a minute. We'll go back and make her taste it. Mom,
Yes.
could you do me a favor real quick?
What? You have to have Paul taste it.
Well, one of you guys want to know what it tastes like, so
Okay, have Paul taste it.
Tastes like apple pie.
Okay, so this one.
Okay, I guess. I end up in the hospital, call the cops.
Call the cops. That means she poisoned you.
That's right. Don't worry about the hospital.
and it's really hot, so you probably have to blow on it.
Crap, I know. That's why it's doing that.
They were a little impatient. Sorry, guys, but, if you want to see it tasted, and hopefully he doesn't burn himself to death on it. So it's sweet enough?
Just right.
There we go. So that's using the tart apples. So
Yep, that's just right. That's good.
now again, if you guys want a sweeter pie, I'm gonna leave that with him. I'm not even
Want
gonna.
any sweeter than that? Something wrong.
Well, some people like a really, really sweet pie, and I was just going to say, if you like a sweeter pie, use a sweeter apple instead of the Granny Smith.
Okay, so what do I do with this one?
So he didn't let the pie go. I think Mom wanted a taste, and he said no. So she might have to steal her own piece. Yeah, that's my stepdad. So my papa. So okay, so I refer to Mima and Papa are my mom's mom and dad, and Grandma and Grandpa were my dad's mom and dad. I don't have them anymore. They passed away when I was really young. Well, Grandma passed away when I was like 18. My granddad actually passed away when I was like 9. But I was like the youngest child of the youngest child, and they had like 8 kids. So, I mean, they were in their 40s before my dad was even born. Yeah, like, the easiest thing to do if you want a sweeter pie, instead of adding more sugar, just use sweeter apples. Especially if you need to watch your sugar intake or you're trying to diet. If you use a really sweet apple, you don't actually have to add sugar. I've actually done just used really sweet apples and cooked them down a little bit to get the juice and then let it roll. I did not know that Granny Smith was an Aussie apple, but they are really good. They're my favorite kind of apple. And that's actually the kind of apple I used on this one. I used about 6 or 8 big apples, the bigger Granny Smiths. So that is what the pie looked like. Well, that is why we have the recipe. Again, we'll go over it. Yeah, so if you use a sweet apple, like Wayne said, if you use a sweet apple, you don't have to put as much sugar in it. And so for the crust, we'll just read that out one more time. It was 4 cups of flour, 2 cups of cold water, 4 tablespoons of shortening, and a half a stick of butter. So just add your fats and your flour together until it kind of crumbles like cornmeal and will hold solid if you squeeze it together. For the Granny Smith apples, I used 8 apples. I used 2 cups of sugar, and that was it. I didn't add anything else to it. I didn't put any butter in it. Just that. So that to me tastes the most like a fresh apple, and that's what I look for whenever I eat a dessert that's got fruit in it, is does it taste like the fresh fruit? But yeah, that's another reason why I'm doing these, because if you guys want to try any of these recipes, go ahead, play with them. What I like to do when I do a new recipe, I want to make it exactly the way the recipe says. And then sometimes I adjust them, sometimes I don't. I try to learn what substitutions will work for them in case I can't get a certain ingredient, because that does happen. Like a lot of the Mediterranean spices, what you would call real Mediterranean spices, can be kind of hard to get, especially in their fresh form. You going grocery shopping tomorrow, huh? Well, like I said, it costs, over here anyway, I know, if you buy, let's say, a 5-pound bag of sugar, a 5-pound bag of flour, and a small can of shortening, you're going to spend about $10. And you can make so many pie crusts out of that. It can also be used for biscuits and gravy, because, seriously, guys, the biggest difference between pie crust and biscuits and gravy is biscuits and gravy has a leavener in it. But you have the same basic concept. You've got the flour, the fat, and the liquid. So, yeah. Well, Pomp, we better get to walking then. Alright, so guys, I really do have to jump off here. I'm gonna be cooking dinner for all of us, so I gotta get my hair wrapped back up, because there's a lot of it. Which is also why when it's wet, it tends to give me a headache. So my beautifuls, my lovely darlings, the circus is over. Time for the ringmaster to get back to work. And for all my lions and tigers and bears, so have a good night. I love you guys. I hope to see you again next time. And I am out. Bye, guys.